What is going on, Angels? The Champ Strider here, and today I feel like it's time to give my impressions on the new October Reinforced update for Chivalry 2. I like to wait a little bit, get a few play sessions in before I form a strong opinion on a patch, and I probably have around 10 hours played on the new update, so I'd say we're ready to give some impressions. I'm going to talk about the new map, the new weapon, the mounted warfare queue, game pass, and the current state of the game regarding servers, bugs, and jank. Before we get into it, hit that subscription button for more medieval melee content. So let's start with the new map, Hippodrome, and what Torn Banner always nails is immersion with their maps. I feel like I'm entering the Colosseum in the movie Gladiator, and the intro video, it's just absolutely epic. I loved it. Now, as far as actual gameplay and map design, Hippodrome is pretty basic. I mean, it's just a large oval with some traps in a few areas. Basic or simple, that doesn't necessarily mean bad, as what Hippodrome tends to do well is spread players around the map, leading to more intimate, small-scale fights. I think this really works well for dueling servers or free-for-all, where you avoid enemies just constantly spawning on top of you like in, say, Fighting Pit. I've enjoyed the few play sessions I've had on a Hippodrome, but there is a big issue. Hippodrome is only in the mounted warfare queue and 40-player servers also, so not only is the map limited in who is playing it, but it's also team deathmatch. And team deathmatch, it just kills servers in Chivalry 2. Like, the game has been out long enough that the devs should know the player base has kind of rejected the mode. It gets old really quickly, and I think Hippodrome will kind of share that fate, where in 2 months I'm complaining about being stuck in TDM, and the shiny new TDM map will just be a down period in my play sessions. I give the map a 7 out of 10 for reasons mentioned above. Now let's talk about the new weapons, the katars. And I've said this many times in my stream and in my Discord, but I knew these things were going to be complete and total trash months before they even released. All one had to do is read the patch notes. The katars, they don't interrupt opponents' attacks. This just automatically makes them one of, if not the worst, selectable primaries in the game. Add on weak sauce damage, jump attacks, and specials, and you just have a totally crap weapon. I'm still kind of surprised Torn Banner landed on qatars to add, as Ambusher, it's one of the least played classes, and adding an extremely niche weapon with no interrupts makes it inaccessible to the extreme majority of the player base. To me, it's wasted development time. I give it a 2 out of 10. For new weapons, it's two-handed flail or bust as far as I'm concerned. Now, there were some changes to queues and the maps available in those queues. Tenosia has changed to mounted warfare and added the Siege of Rudhelm, Aberfell, and Hippodrome. I really enjoyed the Tenosia queue, but it got just so repetitive playing the same 2 maps over and over and over again. So I'm super hyped about the additions here. I actually really enjoyed the mounted warfare queue. I like the chaos of the horses. They're fun, and they can be involved in some just absolutely crazy clips and highlights. And this makes it a much more viable main page queue. I approve, I really enjoyed it. We also had Tenosia maps added minus horses to the 64-player queue, and again, this was great. Super fun to get a change of scenery and just add more variety and more content to the main matchmaking mode. That being said, why did they add Desert, a universally hated TDM map, now even worse minus horses? I just don't understand that decision, but I give these changes an 8 out of 10. Put free-for-all back on the matchmaking queue, and I'll up it to 10. Now, to me, the biggest addition to this update, in my opinion, is the game being added to Game Pass. Chivalry 2 is a niche game. It's not marketed that hard, and the casual gamers just simply don't know what it is. Putting it on Game Pass and getting the game in front of millions of gamers is just amazing, both for the game and the genre. Torn Banner tweeted out that they had 500,000 new players try Chivalry 2 off of the Game Pass. This is just amazing. I'm so happy to see the game get more attention, and hopefully this leads to continued developer support in the coming years. 10 out of 10 here. Great addition. Now, this patch was marketed and called the Reinforced Update. The goal here was to just improve the general state of the game, improve servers, remove bugs, add missing features that were promised a year ago, just basically take the great core game we have and add the polished customization and just general gameplay performance you would expect from a modern game. And to me, the mark was just completely missed here. I'm not seeing these improvements. The servers felt really terrible the first few days of the patch. Now, I'm sure they were overrun with new players, but not the first impression we want to give off. And they have settled in a bit now, but I'm not really sure I can say my gameplay experience is really any better than it was a month ago. Jank and hit detection seem par for the course, where you still will occasionally swing through enemies. True crossplay, promised over a year ago, is not in the game, meaning it's near impossible to play with my console friends since they have to stream snipe my lobbies, and that is just not going to happen with the current amount of players. And the console gaming experience in general, it took a step forward with field of view slider, but then took a major step back when controls were changed for absolutely no reason. It wasn't broke. Why did you try to fix it? Just give the console gamers custom key bindings. It solves the problem. And you still can't play without a helmet, by the way, and the motion blur setting is busted. I give this area a 3 out of 10. Ultimately, I think the Reinforced Update had some really big successes, but it also missed the mark pretty bad with what it was supposed to do. I'll give the patch a 5 or 6 out of 10. I think we'll remember this patch more for the Game Pass editions than anything else. Let me know down below. Do you agree with me? Disagree? Give the patch a rating out of 10. Champ out.